Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Phiona. Today we're having a very special conversation with the lovely Phiona. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you for 5 minutes straight. I'm looking at the time because you're a very busy lady, and we'll talk about music and obviously, Spotify. Come on.
Hopefully they're related.
Related. But you're very passionate. Let's talk about your background with music. I mean, as an African, music is the bedrock from sending messages to communicating hurts to freedom fighting even.
Yes.
So where did your passion for music really start off?
My passion for music started. That's always a very hard question to answer because when is music not in your life, right? It's something I became passionate about because I had older brothers who were into it, and then I became a DJ, and then this is another chapter of my life, a very long time ago, but that was the beginning of the professional journey. I went through press, like music press and journalism and PR even for artists. Many lives I've lived, and then eventually I came into the streaming realm, which has eventually led me here to my role as the head of music for Spotify in Africa.
That's really quite something, the head of music, Spotify Africa. And you've really, I would say, you've had a beautiful progression in terms of your growth as well, career-wise. When we talk about emerging artists and helping them put their music on this platform, why is it so important for you to really carry forth this particular project or this particular initiative?
Well, we have a project called an initiative called Radar. And Radar is one which we use to deliberately kind of handhold artists who we identify as the next big thing. We've been doing this since I joined Spotify, which was in 2019. And some of the alumni from that initiative include artists like Elaine, Focalistic, Thames, Tyler.
Might be me too.
It might be you too, But, the point is that we have been, I would like to think, quite intentional about the type of talent that we've had our eye on and the type of work that we've done to move them through different ecosystems and bring them to various places of success. And it's something that we are passionate about and will continue to do.
And this is so important because we're seeing that African music is really taking the global stage. Finally, I mean, we've seen a few artists budding here and there, but now it's like from social media all the way to awards, global awards, we're seeing them take space.
African music is not a afterthought anymore. It is absolutely influencing what we are seeing as mainstream. Again, one of our Radar alumni is Tyler. Tyler was our Radar artist last year, so hard to believe. And now she's won a Grammy and everybody in the world knows her name. And, you go into programs like this hoping for success, but never ever imagining that it would be as impactful as this. And that just goes to show that I think we're doing the right thing. Feeling very validated.
No, absolutely. That. And like you said, you start a program with the hope that something will work out. And then when you see the impact as well, you're taking it back and say, well, we're actually making a difference. Yes. And so in hindsight, when you look at it, when you started and what you've achieved now, what would you say was your greatest hurdle? And did you ever find a way of overcoming it?
Greatest hurdle? Do you mean personally?
Both. And in the industry and personally. Whatever aligns with you.
I mean, personally, it's always, I think my hurdles are always how I face myself, right? I always try to do better than what I did last year or last month or 5 minutes ago. So for me, it's always, I don't think of it as hurdles. Well, I guess they are hurdles, like if you think of it as a race. And the hurdle is there for you to scale and become stronger as you do it and become faster and so on. So in a way, I think the hurdles are just that for me. But then in terms of my role, I think the earlier days of trying to convince everyone that this was going to happen. Again, remember, I've been in this space for 15, 20 years. Yeah. And there was a time when I was writing about, all of the artists who we now think of as veterans. It's a Burna Boy, it's a Wizkid, it's a Davido, and all these types of artists who have been chipping away at this thing for so long. And it can feel a little bit thankless when people don't see your vision in the beginning. But it is always important that you know what you know and you pursue it until you see it through. So I think that would have been, I think the early days of trying to convince people who were not African that this was a thing. That was hard.
Yeah.
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
And I think the beauty is that now everyone can just kind of jump in on and enjoy shared success.
Exactly.
And whoever has a passion to get into the music industry, I mean, this is your chance now.
Exactly.
And in closing, what would you say is your greatest aspiration with the work you're doing?
My greatest aspiration, you know what? I think I just want, that's a very difficult one to ask. My greatest aspiration is that I want to be known as somebody who always had the heart of the artist in mind, always. In everything that I do. I've always been passionate about people discovering artists, and artists are such fragile but important things to the ecosystem of music. And so even in this role that I do, I think primarily I'm thinking about like, how are they going to navigate the world? The ones who are just coming into the space, even the ones who are a little bit older but might not have the hype and the lights and the brightness around them just because of the way music goes. So for me, I think I always want to be known as someone who kind of carried or championed the cause of artists, especially African artists.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Phiona.
Thank you.
You're so great. And thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.